How do you socialise confidently without drinking alcohol? How do you go out, meet your friends, meet your family, and be confident without drinking the alcohol and without using the alcohol as a social crutch? In this video, that's what we're going to be discussing. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And also, if you're interested in joining our 1% community, the links are below. So, this is a big thing that comes up when going alcohol free, or when someone is sober curious and they have apprehensions about going alcohol free, about trying out the sober lifestyle. This is usually the number one thing that comes up is, how am I going to socialise confidently without the alcohol? In fact, it was the thing that I searched over 6.5 years ago. That was the first thing that I looked up.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Right.
It was, you know, I know I can just go out. I know I can go meet my friends and whatever. But I wanted to know the tips and tricks. That was the first thing that I Googled and went on YouTube. How do I socialise confidently without drinking?
Yeah, it's a big
What
one.
was your number one tip is for this?
Number one tip is I'd start small, like with any new habit or new way of doing anything. You know, if you want to go on a fitness journey, you're not just going to go out and run 10K. You know, the equivalent of this is like going to a wedding or a stag do, for example.
Yeah.
Events that are heavily associated to alcohol. The narrative is shifting, I have to say that. We are in 2024 now, you know, probably 2025, maybe by the time you watch this, who knows, it could be 2026. But either way, it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I think that starting small, i.e. going out with a partner or a friend down to a local bar after a few weeks of taking a break, which we advocate for in a separate video about taking a 30-day break. But yeah, go out for a meal where you might usually have a beer or a glass of wine. Can you have an alcohol-free beer? Can you have a non-alcoholic cocktail, a soft drink, etc.? And then build up to it, where it might be a family gathering, and then just keep going gradually. That's what I'd look to do, build a bit of momentum.
Yeah, because it's getting used to going out, meeting family, meeting friends without that drink in your hand. And if you're someone who's always used alcohol in social situations, and if you are a bit of an introvert and you need the liquid as a social lubricant, which is what a lot of people, I used it for that reason, 100%, that was me. I used it to help loosen me up and say things or whatever, just to fit in with the group, to be more outgoing and everything else. So if that is you, then yeah, it's putting yourself into that position, into those scenarios, but like you said, start small, and then just get used to feeling it without the alcohol. Yeah, but it's amazing what happens when you switch the drink, and if you go for an alcohol-free alternative, because you still got a beer in your hand.
Yeah, it looks the same.
It looks the exact same.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more the perception of what you're thinking about what your friend's thinking.
Yeah, and you'll never really know anyway.
You never know unless you ask them.
But even then, they might lie. Like if you asked me, what do you think of me? And I told you, I might lie anyway. So you'll never ever know, even when you ask for feedback, about what people are really thinking.
No.
So it's such a convoluted way of saying that ultimately it's focus on what you can control and don't focus on what you can't, because people are always going to judge you and have an opinion on it regardless.
Yeah.
So it's doing what you feel aligns with your goals, your vision of yourself, how you want your life to look, and created by design, not by accident. You know?
The other thing I'd have done as well is have your story ready. So as to why you're not drinking, basically. Because when you go out and you meet your friends, let's say you're sort of 2 weeks into this alcohol-free journey, and your friend says, oh, what are you drinking? At this point, you don't want to stumble. You want to have your story ready as to why you're not drinking, especially when people go, why are you not drinking tonight? Having that story ready and just owning it is really helpful. Now, I have used stories in the past, especially when I first went alcohol-free. Like I lied a little bit, like, oh, I'm driving tonight, the classic, oh, I'm on antibiotics, so I can't drink. I just found that actually when I owned my story and said, look, I'm just taking a break from alcohol, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on my health and my fitness, I'm working on my nutrition, I'm back in the gym, I feel really good, I'm just taking a break from alcohol. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Some people will give you a bit of shit, and other people are interested in what you're doing, is what I've found. So usually the ones that give you a bit of shit, they're the ones that basically you're holding up a mirror to them, because they're going, oh shit, I probably could take a break from alcohol.
And a lot of them are probably going to be the ones that will message you the next day saying, hi mate, how did you do it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So they'll give it all the bravado in front of everybody. It's like the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest person in the room. So if they're going around shouting their mouth off, trying to ridicule you in order to deflect their own insecurity, you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that the best scenario is they ask for your help. The worst scenario from their perspective is you don't actually interact with them anymore. So you can better yourself. So it's better for you, but worse for them long term if you can distance yourself from these kinds of people. If it persists and it's just relentless, you'll just find other people to hang around with. So yeah, that's a huge key, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
One of mine is, it sounds maybe a bit strange, when you do go out, have a clear plan for your next day. So it's not actually helping you in the moment, preparing for the social occasion, but it is preparing you for what you're thinking, right, what am I doing tomorrow? Have I got something really exciting to look forward to? Because when you do have that temptation, and when your friends might be peer pressuring you and say, oh, go on, mate, just have one, have it in the back of your mind. No, I'm taking the kids out, we're going to go to a park together, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do the other. Or I'm taking my partner out for brunch tomorrow, or I'm going to join that new gym class tomorrow. So, yeah, because you will have it in the moment where you are thinking, oh, shit, right, how can I get through this? How can I get through this? You're like, oh, after tomorrow, I've got something to look forward to. So that's great. Another one is to know when you're exiting, plan your exit. Yeah. So, because again, this is all reassuring. So it's not necessarily preparing you beforehand, but let's imagine that we're in the situation live and it's like 8 o'clock and you're thinking 9 o'clock, I'm going to backdoor it. That can also be quite exciting too, because you're like, oh, I get to go home soon.
Yeah.
So not that you can't enjoy yourself when you are there and you can be fully present, but when it gets to a certain part of the night, it's a skill to know when to leave the party, isn't
100%, yeah. Yeah, you just check the watch and get out of there. Because by that time, you know, everyone's drunk and drank more than you. The cue for me is when people are slurring their words or they're repeating themselves or they got louder.
Yeah, or they bump into you.
Yeah, they're bumping into you. That's like, time to leave now.
Yeah.
So the other one as well that I have is diffuse. So this is in a situation where the social pressure is on. Now this may be with your existing group of friends, or it may be with people that you've just met out, you know, people that you don't really know. And they go, oh, go on, you can have one. Go on, mate, you can have one, like that. That, when it's starting to heighten up a little bit, is you need to diffuse the situation. The tactic I've used is basically to have some fun with it. So some people will say like, oh, you're not drinking, you're going to be really boring tonight. Yeah, I'm going to be really boring. Yeah, I'm going to be dancing on that table, alcohol free. I just own it. I just go with it.
I go the other way and just be like, you have no idea how fucking boring I am. I am so boring, it's unbearable. Here's how boring I'm going to be when I get home. It's going to be pajamas on and fucking whatever. But
the point being, you're having fun with it.
Yeah,
when you have fun with it, it just for me, it just sits well because you're just having a bit of a fun and a joke with it and whatever, and then the next conversation starts, done.
It's like the schoolyard tactic, isn't it? You know, people going, oh, you've got big ears, yeah, and?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, what do I do now? Oh, I know, they're massive. Yeah. I'm like Dumbo, aren't I? Yeah. Straight away, kills it.
Yeah,
so,
done.
You know, if you can do that as well, unfortunately, when you are, you know, pissed out of your head and you're getting a bit leery, you are in almost like childlike state. So it might be that they keep prodding and keep pushing, but just remember at any moment you can be the adult and the adult will always walk away. And just leave the proverbial party behind and let them crack on and do whatever they want to do for the rest of the evening.
Leave the herd there.
Correct. So yeah, a few like I said, some of these might sound really quite strange, but if you want to get a different outcome, you need to do different behaviour and drastic ones at that sometimes. That's what it calls for. So we are going to put more links in the comments, useful resources for you guys to look at and to read through or watch other videos and what have you. Please like, subscribe and follow the channel. It really supports us. If you want to join our community, like Mayhew said at the start of the video, it's school.com/agames. School is SKOOL. And we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks, guys.